So this is for Dungeon Defenders. If you've never played the game, like check out Dungeon Defenders 1. And and I wrote these down because there's a lot that they need to fix. But okay, let me count them real quick because I wrote them down how many things they need to like fix to get back to the roots of like Dungeon Defenders 1. So I have 9, so 5 plus 4, I have 9 reasons that I will buy the next Dungeon Defenders. So I'm gonna try to go through these pretty quickly. But the 10, like, okay, what made Dungeon, and this is the reason we played the game, is because it was simple, it was fun, and you could get like really cool weapons like when you grinded the game. Like those 3 reasons are the reasons we played. Like it was, and I watched this one dude's YouTube video like 10 minutes ago, and he was saying how like the Dungeon Defenders like was way before its time, and it kind of was. So bring it back into this time, like the current 2024. Okay, but let me get to these. So originally there was like 4 classes. You could play as like the Huntress, the Wizard, the Squire, and the Monk, I believe, were the first 4. I think there was one that I'm missing. I think he might have been the first 4 besides the Monk, but I can't remember exactly. But, like, if you have more than, like, 8 or 10 classes, like, that's too much. Because then it just makes the game like, oh, he has this one, and I don't have that one because I didn't buy it. Like, just be simple. Have, like, 8 or 10 classes. You don't need, like, 20 of them. Like Dungeon Defenders 2 and Awakening had. And that brings me to my next point. Awakening, I don't even know what that game is. Like, no one knows what that game is. So, like, overdoing it is sometimes bad. And maybe that game's way ahead of its time, but no one knows that game. No one really wants to, like, I don't know, delve into it because it's, like, a bunch of microtransactions. So I don't know, maybe you can fix that game too with that. But okay, back to like making the next Dungeon Defenders. We want the lag. Like, bring the lag back. Like, the lag was the coolest thing about that game. When you had like so many troops that were coming to the crystal and it started lagging, you knew that like you needed to like start fighting, like, for the crystal, for your life type of thing. Like, the lag was awesome. Bring that back. And make the rare weapons, like, ridiculously rare, like they were in Dungeon Defenders 1. Like, I remember grinding that game for so much, just to get, like, one weapon, and then I ended up, like, getting that weapon eventually after grinding, like I grinded a lot in that game. I replayed Dungeon Defenders 1 so much. Like, I loved that game. But when I ended up getting the rare item, like, I kept playing the game, which was so weird. Cause like the whole time I was playing the game, I just wanted to get like the cool weapons. And I ended up getting one, and then that's when like the game became even more like dang, I want to go for like world records or something. Like, that made the game super cool. Because I remember getting that one weapon, and I think it was like the Squire's sword that was like flaming or something, like a flaming sword or something. But and this video is getting kind of long, so I'm gonna try to hurry this up a little bit. And if you have to like fast forward this or something, or like 2 times speed maybe if you want to, I don't know. But when I got that sword, I played with like these high level people that like grinded the game just as much as I did, and it was so fun because we would like we would all have these like decked out like legendary swords and legendary Huntress guns, and like the wizard, like I remember some dude popped in with, I don't even know what it was. That's how cool and rare that item was. But this dude had I'm not even kidding, like, it was a wizard, he was like a wizard main, I think, or maybe he had all of them, like, super decked out. But he had a wizard staff, and it was a 4-player co-op, and he literally soloed the whole thing. Like, like I remember there was one, like it was me and this other, dude or girl that were like just we were just chilling on the Eternia Crystal. We didn't do anything and it was like one of the hardest maps there was. And this other person was going around like shooting stuff, but when it comes to like numbers and DPS, like he or she wasn't really doing too much. This wizard was going around with this weapon and he was just annihilating everything. And there was like stuff coming this way, this way, this way, this way. I remember the map. It's the one with like those wyverns coming through the middle. I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it was like the Black Knight version where there's like a knight that comes in the middle at the end or something. I can't remember exactly. But he was just going around annihilating everything. We weren't doing a thing. And before I got into that lobby, like, those maps were like almost impossible to like win. And I don't know what weapon that dude had, but it was insane. And yeah. And then like I'm trying to remember why I stopped playing, and I think I stopped playing because they announced Dungeon Defenders 2. Like and then like that game just wasn't it, so I didn't go back to Dungeon Defenders 1. I think. Okay, real quick, this video is getting very long. The graphics, the people that play Dungeon Defenders and really like Dungeon Defenders 1, we don't care about the graphics. Like, get out of that mindset of like graphics have to be like HD. Like, no. Like, the graphics could be like 2D almost. Like, no one cares about the graphics for Dungeon Defenders. And sometimes a lot of games, I don't know why they go that route of making the graphics like super good, because they don't have to be. Like, to have a good game, that does not mean they have to have good graphics. Like RuneScape. Like, RuneScape doesn't have to do that either. Like, RuneScape was better when they had the old graphics. Okay, bring back that levels were hard. Like, bring that back. I wrote this down because I wanted to be very specific. I remember there was one time where I felt like waiting an hour to be ready to start the next wave, because we had to prepare to not just get annihilated. Like it took that much preparation to get to the next wave. So that was awesome. And I think that was at the time where I could afford like a mic, and we were like talking to each other. It was so cool. That I really think that the first game I ever got a mic was for Dungeon Defenders, because we had to like prepare the wave. So that is kind of cool. And I never would have like probably thought of that unless I recorded this video. So that's kind of cool in itself. You don't need a bunch of creatures. Like, make it simple. There's ogres, wyverns, and like bosses. Like it doesn't need to be like 5 new creatures every map. Like, just keep it simple. Like, maybe like a new creature on the next level, or the next level has like an adaptation to the wyvern where it shoots fireballs or something. I don't know. Or it's immune to certain attacks or traps or something. But yeah, I feel like adding even more than one new creature every level is a little too much. And I don't know, maybe if like you have like one super duper map where you're like, I'm just gonna go all out and add a bunch of new stuff, I guess that would be cool. That could be like the last level of the game or something, I don't know. I have like 2 more. The tavern interface from the old Dungeon Defenders, that was like sick. Like, it was like, here's my character, here's the armor I could put on, here's the sword I could put on, here's the shoes I could put on, here's the wand, the necklace. Like, it was so simple and just, it looked good. Like I don't even know, like Dungeon Defenders 2 or The Awakening, I remember I think it was 2. And I did play 2 quite a bit, but the tavern's interface, and I'm pretty sure it was 2 that was like this, but the interface was way too much, and it was so, like, it didn't need to be that complex, and it was way too much to even like look at, or like it just way too much. So it was so bulky. I put this in my notes. It was too bulky and way too much. Make it simple. Okay, last thing. The funding, if you don't have the funding to make the new game, fund it the way that you funded the first game. Like, if you have to, start all over. And if you, I don't know, your funding and your finances, like, the developers of, I think it was, I want to say the developer started with an M, but I can't remember. But if you don't have the funding, or you're, you know, in the negative, if you're going bankrupt or whatever your finances are, fund it the way that you funded the first game. Like get back to your roots. Like, just start over and do it right. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.